George's lifestyle. It's always a pleasure to, sit and chat with you. So, as the title suggests, let's let's chat. So, we're going to be talking about a number of things today. Um, Nothing specific, just a number of things. And as usual, you can come on with your questions and drop them in the comment section. Um, I haven't done a live in a while, and I just decided to come on and chat. So I'm just gonna wait for another minute, and then I'll continue talking as soon as I see somebody online. Okay, so I see one person online, so I'm just gonna wait for one more person to join, and then I will continue. Hi, Bushara. Thank you so much for joining, Bushara. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. So I know based on the time difference, a lot of you might be off to work now or thinking about going to sleep. But quick update, it's now Ramadan in the UAE, so 1 month of fasting. Also, schools are out on spring break. Yes, so Ramadan has started, spring break, and I have traveled, so I know I haven't been on for a while. I haven't been on for a while, and I just got up this morning and decided let's do a live. Let's do a quick catch up. So I am not in the UAE now. I am now in America. Yes, it's spring break, so I traveled to spend some time with my family. And based on the time difference, everybody is still asleep, and I'm up because, of course, we're on 8 hours difference, time difference. So everybody's still sleeping, and I'm up. So I just decided to come on and chat. So thank you for joining me, Bushara, Anita, and Mohammed. When does the teacher's summer vacation begin, and when does it end? So okay, I'm reading the messages from another phone if you see me looking down. All right, so summer break begins in the end of June for some schools, and the first week of July for some schools. As you know, some schools are private schools, some schools are run by the government, so they operate differently. So some of us were off on break at the end of June, some the first week of July, but all schools return from summer break in August. Most times for a new teacher starts around the 15th, 16th of August, and then returning teachers would start a week later. So new teachers would start earlier because they have to go through an induction process, right? So you have to go in a week earlier, to get yourself familiarized with the school environment and all of that, do some training and so on. And then returning staff would go in a week after, somewhere about the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of August, thereabout. So hi again, Anita, how are you doing? And Bushara. Yes, I'm familiar with these names that I see online now. Yes, so thank you so much for joining. So again, we are on break for Ramadan, 2 weeks of spring break, and Ramadan is now going on. So what happens in Ramadan is that school starts later in the day, like for me, 9 o'clock, and we end at 2. So during the holy month of Ramadan, that's when the Muslims are on fasting for 1 month. So pretty much everybody gets to go into work later and leave earlier. And businesses still go on, but sometimes if you're doing businesses, then you have to try to get them done early in the morning because some of the offices tend to close early. But for schools, we do go into school later and go home earlier. Unfortunately, this time I usually look forward for Ramadan because it's 1 month going to school late and coming home earlier. But each year I realize that Ramadan keeps, going closer back up in the year. So this time, spring break is actually taking out 2 weeks of, Ramadan is actually taking out 2 weeks out of our spring break, so that when we go back to school, we will just have 2 weeks of Ramadan remaining. But it's really a refreshing time. And some persons ask that during Ramadan, if expat teachers who are not Muslims, if we have to go on fasting. No. I always say one thing I like about the UAE is that nobody tries to indoctrinate you. Nobody tries to force you to become a Muslim. You are free to worship, and you just live with each other and respect each other's religion. However, Christians do fast also. So a lot of Christians expats in the UAE, even though it's Ramadan and it's the Muslims who are on fasting, a lot of Christians just take the opportunity also to go on fasting. And I always say how I appreciate or I love how dedicated the Muslim community is in terms of their prayer times, their fasting, and so on. It's really awesome. But as Christians, we're not forced to go or not required to go on fasting, but we just have to respect our colleagues. So what happens is that during the holy month of Ramadan, when we are in school, um, we have to eat in what you call restricted areas. So what happens is that we have a room or designated areas set up for persons who are not on fasting. So those doors are normally covered, and you can take your lunch and or your snack or whatever and eat in those designated areas. Same thing for the kids. The kids who are not on fasting, there's a designated area for them to go and eat their lunch. What happens is that you cannot just be walking and eating in during the holy month of Ramadan. And that happens also in the supermarkets, wherever you go out on the streets during the holy month of Ramadan. You can't be just walking and eating as you like. No, you have to respect each other, and you eat in covered areas. You take your food elsewhere and eat, just to be tolerant and to be respectful. So not even to walk around drinking a bottle of water. No, you put away your food and you go in those designated areas to eat. um yeah, just respecting your colleagues when it comes to planning our lessons. And this is an update also for new teachers in the UAE. During the holy month of Ramadan, no music is played in the lesson. So no YouTube videos with music. If you're planning your lessons, you have to go through the lessons carefully to make sure there's nothing about food in the lesson. And yeah, pretty much no display of food, no music during the lesson. And the kids tend to be very tired during the holy month of Ramadan, because as you know, they start their fasting sometime, I think about 4 a.m. They start their fasting and they break the fast at sunset. So they tend to be up in the night eating and praying at the designated time, and then they're off on fasting at 4 a.m. So we have to and note that they are very tired during the days when they're at school. I teach grade 3. There are 7 and 8 year olds, and they're on fasting too. So I'll realize that they're very tired. I just have to let them sleep. Yeah, we just have to show respect. I see 7 persons on, and I see 4 thumbs up. So I'm gonna ask everyone to thumbs up the video. As soon as you join, give the video a thumbs up. All right, let me look at some questions here. All right, so Mohammed, how can I find a job as a teacher without being in the UAE? Can I do that? Yes, Mohammed, I think you're not watching the videos, Mohammed. You don't have to be in the UAE to apply for teaching jobs. All the websites are there, Mohammed, that I share from time to time. All you need to do is to go on and to register. register, and then you upload your CV. That's all. You don't need to be in the UAE. Sometimes some jobs, when you see them being posted, they specifically say you need to be in the UAE because they want to do a face-to-face interview with you. But that is just happening now because they're actively recruiting. But you don't have to be in the UAE to find a job. All you need to do is to have the required qualification. That's all you need to do. So if you're a primary school teacher, Mohammed, you just need to have a bachelor's degree in primary education. If you're a secondary trained teachers, you need a bachelor's degree in secondary education or a PGCE, whatever is equivalent to a bachelor's degree. That's what you need to have. All right, Mohammed. And you have to make sure that you are applying for a position that you are qualified for. So if you are a primary school teacher, Mohammed, you are primary trained, then you can't be applying for a job in a secondary school to teach Spanish or to teach social studies. You can only apply for the jobs that you are qualified to teach. Another thing is that you must have 2 years experience after you have completed your bachelor's degree or your PGCE. You must have at least 2 years teaching experience. So what that means is that you must finish the degree, then work for 2 years after that. That is what they mean when they say you must have 2 years experience. However, there are some schools that ask for or suggest that newly qualified teachers can apply. You will see those jobs, I think it's normally in green and it says NQTs can apply. NQT means newly qualified teacher. So if you see that on the job post and you just finished your degree, you just finished studying, then yes, you can go ahead and apply. Or you will see in red, not for NQT or EQT, something that is normally written in red. It means that if you are newly qualified, you cannot apply. All right, I hope that answers your question. All right, Anita, I'm doing good. And for a summer vacation, oh, summer vacation. Interesting. I have another, or summer vacation starts the end of June. All right. Let me take some more questions. Mo Ben, hi. What's the lowest salary of English teacher? All right, Mo Ben, salary is not paid based on the subject that you teach. Salary is based on your qualification and your years of experience. It has nothing to do with the subject you teach. All right? It's just your year. So whether you teach in KG, whether you teach primary, whether you teach high school, your salary is not dependent on the level you teach, but on your qualification and your years of experience. Hi, Carrie. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying your spring break, Carrie. All right, the Mellow Girl. What do you know about the GEMS school? They are all, yes, GEMS is a very good company to work with. They have excellent benefits and they're different. Yeah, they're all over the UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, they're all over the UAE. Very good company to work for, very good benefits, and so on. A mixture, international kids. So it's very nice school to work with, and yeah, pretty much it's a very good company. They're all over. And they employ a wide range of nationalities. Yes, you know, there are some schools that ask specifically for some nationalities. GEMS employs everybody. All right. Non-Jabulo. Hope I'm saying your name correctly, Non-Jabulo. I'm finally moving to the UAE in 2 weeks to teach in public school. I'm nervous and excited. Congratulations, Non-Jabulo. Congratulations. Hope to meet you when you apply, or what, sorry, when you arrive. All right. So it's October is gonna make 6 full years I am here in the UAE, and it has been exciting and rewarding so far. I'm not gonna tell you a lie, it's gonna be challenging when you just start, because moving to a new environment, a new country, new culture, and everything is going to be overwhelming at first, but over time you will adjust. Um, when I moved here, I remember, and I'm still living in the UAE alone. I did not move with family. And I remember I used to cry many nights when I realized that, I left my family and I was in a new environment, new culture. Everything was just, it was a culture shock. And I usually cry many nights because I got lonely at one point, and um, it was challenging at the first school when I just started, because I had a class with all boys, grade 6 class, and I think I was their third teacher. So yeah, so I joined the school in the month of October. I was their third teacher. So can you imagine having three teachers in pretty much 2 months of the school year? And it was quite challenging, and I cried, and but not cry in front of the kids, of course. I went home and cried. And was over time, as the time went on, I became adjusted and it got easier to deal with. I made new friends on the job. And yes, it's kind of daunting going into a new country by yourself, not knowing anyone. I had one friend that I knew before. So I had that one friend, my sister friend, Terina, of course. And that made it easier. But yes, I did make new friends on the job. But over time, it got easier. But yes, it's exciting. You're going to love it. The new opportunities, the new lifestyle. You're going to love it. All right. So make sure to message me when you arrive so we can meet. All right. Does the teacher get the salary of the 12 months? Does he get paid during summer vacation? Yes, you are paid for the 12 months of the year. So even on summer vacation, you do get paid. All right, so let me explain how this works. All right, so to be entitled, and I think this goes for almost all the schools as far as I know, to get summer pay, you must be working with that one school for 6 consecutive months. So for example, to be entitled to summer pay, let's say you started in August, you will get your summer pay. Let's say you started working the following year, like in February or March, you will not be paid for summer because you have to be working for 6 consecutive months in order to be entitled for summer pay. So what they would do is pay you up to the last day of school before you go off for summer break. But as long as you are working with the school for 6 consecutive months, then you will be entitled to your summer pay. Also, you will get every summer you will get a return airfare to your home country every summer. You're entitled to that. However, some schools, for example, let me use my school as an example. If you're not yet working with the school for 1 year, you will not get the summer, the airfare, until the following year. For example, let's say you start working in January, and this is just for my school, not all schools are like that. Let's say you started working in January, you will not get the airfare for that summer. You will get it, it will be you will get it, but you have to first complete 1 year. So you would get it the following year, January. Then you will still get your normal summer airfare. But not all schools do that. Some schools, once you start working and you work 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you get your airfare for the following summer. All right. My nose is scratching. All right. See your bank link. I will be starting in August in the UAE. Thank you. Oh, congratulations, Seal Bank. Congratulations. My daughter is currently in second grade Will she continue same grade or another grade? All right. So American schools, their grade system, they say grade one, grade two, grade three. If it's a British curriculum school, they say year one, year two, year three. So the age is what plays a factor there depending on the curriculum being used. So in the British school, a child who is in grade a year four in the British school would be in grade three in the American curriculum school. So technically, yes, your child would go into the same continue grade two, but it just depends on the age. All right, I wonder if that explains. Right, my nose is itching. Sorry about that. Right, it just depends on the grade or the year. But she will continue in the same grade. And of course, if that is your wish, as long as the age fits the required grade that she should be in. But congratulations, hope to meet you. You have always been following my channel too, hope to meet you. The Mellow Girl, no, the school, I know back in the days, some schools usually book the flight for the teacher, but for the most part, you are given the money. So you decide the route that you want to travel. What the schools do is that they have their own travel service that they work with. So they check it and they know how much money it will require to fly you home. So they do their little checks and then they give you your airfare. Sometimes when you get it though, based on the route that you want to travel, it can't take you home. For example, I like to use myself as an example. I don't like the many connecting flights. Whenever I'm going home, I just want to go home. I just want a straight flight that takes me home. So the money that my school gives me for my flight, normally I have to make it up. I have to add to it. It kind of take me home because I live very far. Jamaica is far from the UAE, and there's no straight flight. There's no straight flight from the UAE to Jamaica. So I have to take at least two or three planes sometimes. So the money that my school gives is not enough to fly me home. So I always have to put extra on it, just so that I am not spending 2 days traveling to get home. All right, but they do give you the money, and some schools give you the money as much as or as long as sometimes 6 months or 4 months before your travel date, so that you can book your flights early. All right, so yes, so the Mellow Girl, when you are coming, your visa and your ticket is sent to your email. So when you're coming, no need to worry about the cost of the travel. They will ask you where you are traveling from, which country you're traveling from, and they go ahead and they book your ticket and send it to you. All right, so your ticket and your visa is normally sent to your email when you're coming for the first time. Also, if it is a school that provides family benefits like family airfare, then they will book the flight for everybody. All right. If it's a school that does not provide airfare for your family, they will only book for you, and then you will have to book the flights and also do the visa for your family. That's another thing that you have to, when you're given an offer, you have to make sure to find that out. Do you ask them if they pay for flights and visa for your family too? All right, so yeah, that's something to think about, because I know some persons, the schools say they provide family benefits, but the family benefits mean that it's housing or it's school fee for your kids, but flight is not a part of it. So you have to make sure to find that out first. But one thing is for sure, they will always pay for the employee, your fare and your visa. All right. Yeah. All right. So another thing, we're now in the month of March. Oh, is today the 1st of April, or I don't even know the date. But yes, recruitment is still going on. Recruitment. I always say recruitment never stops in the UAE. So recruitment is still going on. So if you are still interested in working here, go ahead and apply. And while you're watching, guys, you can go ahead and share this live with somebody who you know might be interested in working here. You can go ahead and share this live with them. But like I always say, recruitment never stops in the UAE. Recruitment is still going on. So go ahead and apply. Hi, Terina. Terina said, who looks so nice? Of Farid. Yes, Farid, nice. The weather though, I was saying, I run out of the sunshine to come into the cold. It's so, I think what is after 8 a.m. here. And so for those who are just joining, I'm not in the UAE now. I traveled to America on spring break, and everybody's still sleeping, the time difference. So you know what is happening since I have traveled? When I want to sleep, my family is up laughing and watching TV, and I want to sleep. And now they are sleeping. I have been up for over 5 hours now. I've been up and everybody's still sleeping. So I said, why not just come on alive? And then later tonight, now when I want to sleep, everybody will be up. But yes, Terina, outer door nice, America nice so far. Yes, it's very cold. I even have my blanket. The AC is off and it's so cold on the inside now. So I haven't been outside probably for 2 days now. It's too cold, and I don't want to get sick, coming out of UAE hot sun. I don't want to come here and get sick. Okay, so Mellow Girl is asking which Emirate I prefer. Since being in the UAE, I worked in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai. And to be honest, I prefer working in Abu Dhabi. Dubai is just too busy. It's nice, the bling and the glitter and the fast life. It is just too busy. And if you don't drive, taxi fare is very expensive going in and around Dubai. But it's just too fast for me. It's just too, Abu Dhabi feels more yes, Tarina, Dubai is just Dubai. The lifestyle is really nice, and you see the glitz and the glamour and the glitz and everything and so on, but it's just too much for me. Abu Dhabi is just more, pretty much everything that's in Dubai is in Abu Dhabi, but I feel like Abu Dhabi is more family oriented. It's more relaxing, you know. Yeah. But all the Emirates are, it just depends on the lifestyle that you like. If you like the hustle and bustle, then Dubai it is for you. Catching the train, the metro, and all of that. That's Dubai if you don't drive, because taxi fare is very expensive. So you'll find that to travel at a cheaper cost, you'll have to take the metro or take the bus. The bus is in Abu Dhabi too, and the bus ride is always affordable. But yeah. All right. Oh, Sia Bank, you're going to Ruwais. Tarina usually live in Ruwais. And Ruwais is in Abu Dhabi. Ruwais is in Abu Dhabi. Ruwais is lovely. It's it's quiet, it's outside of the hustle and bustle, but Ruwais is lovely. Ruwais is like a whole community. Ruwais tend to feel like it's a little emirate by itself, but it's not. Ruwais is another city in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, and Terina lived there for 4 years, and I usually travel on the bus and go see Terina, and I always feel like I traveled somewhere else, but it's really lovely. I always talk about the park that they have in Ruwais. One thing I loved about the park, it's so big and pretty. You can go out there, have your barbecues. The park itself is like a gym. Lots of gym equipment are inside the park, outside in the park, and it's like having your free gym that you don't have to pay for. You just get up and go exercise and all of that. The lovely walk trail, nice mall, so you'll love it. And then driving into the city now, coming into Abu Dhabi, it's about 2 hours drive, or hour and 45 minutes drive. But yes, Ruwais is lovely. But working in all the Emirates, it's pretty much the same. It's just some of them are uh I would say not remote, but it's not so fast. Um, I know some persons. Al Ain, Al Ain. If you take up a job offer and it says Al Ain, Al Ain is not another emirate. Al Ain is a city in Abu Dhabi. It's very big. So Al Ain is a city inside Abu Dhabi. Ruwais is also a city inside Abu Dhabi, and they offer the same benefits and lifestyle and all of that. All right. But yes, as I was saying before, recruitment is still going on, and just keep on applying. And remember that even if you applied on that website before and you see another job in your area being posted again, still go ahead and send them another application. Maybe yours got lost in the system, the many they got. Go ahead and apply again. And every day, check out test.com. I uploaded a video, I think, yesterday. Every day, test.com posts new vacancies. So go ahead and check those out. Check on Indeed, Seek Teachers. Everyday jobs are being posted. So just keep on applying. Don't stop. Keep on applying. Yes. Oh, and Carrie is saying Ed Vectors. Yes, keep on applying. Sometimes when you apply, you don't hear back from the school. Is that they only contact those persons who they shortlisted. Yeah. So just keep on applying, applying, applying. Vacancies are there, and sometimes the truth is you have the qualification but you don't even know who they're looking for. Yeah, you're just probably not the nationality that they're looking for. Or you know what I find too that some schools are doing, you have everything that you need, you do the interview and all of that, and what I realized happened to somebody recently. Everything went well and she thought she was going to get the job. And then they messaged back to say, oh, we found a couple instead. So we took the couple instead of you, because they're trying to cut back on benefits now. When they find two teachers for a particular area, the husband might teach math and the wife might teach English. So what they do is that's one accommodation for them pretty much, and one benefit. So they take the couple instead of taking you, the single teacher, and then they're going to have to find somebody else and provide another housing for this person. They are being smart, So, just keep on applying, and you might even find a job at the last minute, meaning in July, even in July, schools are still going to be contacting teachers. So just keep applying. Check out the different websites. Update your CV. Somebody messaged me recently to ask if they can apply for multiple jobs on different websites. No, it doesn't matter which website Yes, Tarina, they're using one stone to kill two birds. Yes, it doesn't matter which website you apply on, you can only apply for the position that you are qualified for. All right, so if you go on to Indeed, or you go on to Seek Teachers, or you go on to EdVectus, if you're a math teacher, you can only apply for math teacher positions. All right, one other thing I want to talk about is ESE, Emirate Emirates School Establishment. They are government run school. Only native kids attend those schools. So that's Emirates School Establishment. Only native kids attend that school. It's government run. Um, Benefits are good. But for ESC, I know a lot of persons have applied with ESC. Their process is very, very, very long in terms of moving from one stage onto another. They are quite legit. You will get your offer and all of that, but the process is very long. Um, they when it comes to housing, you have to they give you just the package. So you'll see an offer for, let's say, 18,000, 19,000, 21,000, depending on your years of experience. Yes, on my phone. I'm on my phone. Okay. I'm on my phone. Yes, so depending on your years of experience, the offer that you get, it means that you're going to have to find your housing, and but the benefit is good, and depending on the area in which they place you, rent might be cheap, but the challenge lies in that when you arrive, you're going to be placed in a hotel for either 1 or 2 weeks, and then after that, you are going to have to, while you're at the hotel, you're going to have to be searching for housing. So that's quite challenging if you come with family. It's quite challenging if you come with family. You're gonna have to be searching for housing and getting your own furniture and all of that. So yeah, the process with ESC, guys, my sinus and my nose is itching. Sorry about that, but they are quite legit, and it just getting around with them is quite challenging. So some persons normally ask, do I take my family with me when I'm coming? It's a personal decision that you have to make. However, I think if you are coming into an international school where they provide housing, then it makes settling in easier, less challenging, because you move right into the apartment fully furnished and everything. So it makes getting settled easier. However, if you are coming to a school where you have to search for accommodation, it can be quite challenging if you're doing that with family here. Yeah, and I'm speaking based on other persons who had to do with experience. If you're here by yourself, then you can easily jump around and move around and ask around and get support and find somewhere. But when you're doing that with family, it can be quite challenging. And for what I know with ESE takes care of you who they employed. So in terms of housing you in the hotel, they cover everything for you in the hotel. But if you come here with the family and they house you in the hotel for 2 weeks, it means that you're gonna have to be paying for the housing for your husband or and the kids. Yeah, so think about paying for a hotel stay for your husband and kids or child for 2 weeks, providing food for them too. You know, so you have to think about those costs. you have to think about those costs when moving with your family. But if it's something that you can manage, if it's something that you can afford, then go ahead and do that. And then, like I said before, while you're in the hotel, then you're going to have to be searching for an apartment, getting your furniture while going to school. While going to school, if you come during the summer, then of course it's going to be more manageable. But think about joining in the middle of the school year. Yes, if you join in the middle of the school year, you arrive today, and tomorrow you have to go into the classroom, start teaching while you're thinking about going about and finding housing. Can you imagine how stressful that is? But if you're employed during August, you come as a new teacher and you're staying in the hotel for the 2 weeks. You're not going to school because new teachers normally arrive 1 week before. So you have the time during the days after your training to go about and search. But if you join in the middle of the school year, like you come in February and you come in March, April, and so on, you arrive today, guys, you are going to school tomorrow and they're putting you right into the classroom to start teach. Some schools will make you shadow somebody for a week or so, and some you come and you get your lesson plan, or you have to start preparing your lesson plan the next day and you start teaching. So if you can manage all of that, then go ahead. Thank you, Tarina. Yes, guys, go ahead and thumbs up the video. I can see 9 persons online, so I want to see 9 thumbs up. Yes, go ahead and thumbs up the video, guys. Which date in August? Okay, so Mellow Girl, school start for in August for new teachers, the 15th or the 16th of August. Whichever day is the Monday. So new teachers normally start 1 week earlier. So somewhere about the 15th, 16th of August, new teachers start, and then returning teachers start a week after. Yes. So once you're a new teacher, you're gonna start school somewhere between the 15th or 16th of August. 1 week earlier, so you get to do training, go around and get familiarized with the school community, get some training in terms of things that you need to get done, and so on. Some schools give you a tour of the city. Some schools take you out to the mall, the supermarket to show you around, so you at least get a week to familiarize yourself. So even returning teachers, so we come back a week after you, and we also get a week of training to workshops and so on. All right. Hope I'm not missing anybody's comment. But yes, while you prepare to come, for those of you who have offers and will start, while you prepare, just keep in mind that it's not a bed of rose. International teaching on a whole, it's not a bed of rose. Even though you might have years of experience in your home country or elsewhere, as a teacher, you have to learn to unlearn and relearn things that you could do back in your home country. It might be different here. So when I say you have to unlearn, you have to do away with some of the things that you could do before. Learn new things, learn new ways of doing things, and you just have to be adaptive, whatever the word may be. You have to adjust. You have to get used to doing things a different way, and sometimes it makes no sense, but what you got to do, smile and go ahead and do it, because you just have to do it. That's a school's policy. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense to you, but You gotta do it. So you can't come with an I know it all mentality, or this is what I was used to. You have to relearn, you have to adjust. Even some simple things that you could say to the kids in your classroom. I remember um, as much as shouting, I could in Jamaica, I could shout at my kids and so on, and I couldn't do it when I came here. Um, I remember one day I said, "Shut up." I remember one day I said, "Shut up," and I I had to learn that, Miss, she told me the S word. He told me the S word, and I was like, S word? What is the S word? The S word is shut up. So that's, yeah. But just some simple things. Even some things that you could do to punish a child: turn your face into the wall, hold your hand on your ear. Just some things that you can't do, and you have to think outside the box. And your behavior management skills, you have to be really, what should I say, you have to really adjust them, and you have to, as you go along, it's a learning process. Find different ways that you can manage the behaviors in your class. I know it tends to be more challenging in the high schools when it comes to behavior, but even the little ones too, they will act up sometimes. um yeah, so your behavior, and you'll be asked those questions in your interview too. What are some behavior management skills that you employ, or how would you treat this particular behavior in your class, and so on. Those are some questions that you're going to be asked in the interview, because you will find behavioral challenges in your classroom, and you have to know how to deal with them. You have to know how to discipline a child without making him or her feel, without crushing their emotions or belittling them. Yeah, you have to, that's something you have to work on. How be firm in your class, but be approachable. So even though we have to be very strict with our kids, you still have to do it in a way that they still feel encouraged, that they still feel that I can come to my miss and say, Miss Georgia. You still have to build this relationship with them, yet be firm at the same time. Because you still have to feel that, you still have to make them love you. You still have to make them feel that they want to come to school and not be afraid of Miss Georgia. So it's a whole new learning environment and so on. All right. Just checking to see I didn't miss anybody's question. All right. Somebody had asked what it's like working in the government schools as opposed to working in the international schools. It's not much different working in the government schools as opposed to working in the private school. But of course, some things are done differently. And the main difference is that in the government schools, you're teaching only native kids, only Emirati kids. You're still using either the British curriculum or the American curriculum. And some of those schools are charter schools, so sometimes the performance level of those kids are a bit low, so you have to dig deep inside the box to be creative, to find ways of reaching them. Remember that English is not their first language, so some of them struggle to write it and to speak it. So your method of teaching has to be really at a level to get them to understand you. So it can be quite challenging. And if you have behavioral issues with them on top of that, then that's a challenge. As opposed to the international schools, private schools, you have an expat community, you have a mixture of kids. So in the international private schools, you have kids from all over the world in those schools. However, there are native kids there too, there are Emirati kids there too, because as a country policy rule, every school has to have Emirati kids there. So even though working in the international school, in your class you might have 7 Emirati kids, native kids, and then the other 21 or so are expat, different from different cultures, different communities, different countries. Um, the salary is not the salary is not different. The salary is not different from the between the two, private and government and private. The salary is not different. The benefits might be different in terms of the housing, but the salary scale is pretty much the same. If you are not provided with housing, then your salary will seem higher than the international school, because you're given your salary inside, you're given your housing as a part of your salary, so you have to go and rent. All right, but you're pretty much using the same curriculum. It's just the whole operation and the type of kids, the nationality of the kids that make the difference. Which one I prefer? Um, I like the mixed multitude. I like the mixed multitude, but I mean, just having a good rapport with your kids, it doesn't matter which one of them you teach at. It's still it's still it's still great, because currently my school I teach all native kids. Okay, for my school, only staff kids can come to the school. So the school population is made up of all native Emirati kids and then the staff kids. So let's say, for example, my class now, I have 24 kids in my class, and I think about 7 of them are staff kids. So all the others were born there. They are native kids. All right. And yeah, and my school is not a government school, it's a private school. Private school, but private school for Emirati kids. All right. So sometimes if you get a job in a charter school, a government school, it means that your child cannot go to the school that you teach. Yeah. If you are employed in a charter school or government school, your child cannot go to the school that you teach. So if your school provides tuition, then they are going to give you the tuition for your kids to attend another school, the full tuition, if that's what they provide, or they are going to give you an allowance, tuition allowance for your child. But as long as it's a government school, your child cannot attend that school. All right. All right, Mello, I missed one of your questions. Third to last one. Trying to find your question, Mello girl. Is it the date in August when school starts? Is that the one? Okay, I think I see it. What are your thoughts about recruiters? Aren't we applying for the same jobs listed on tests? Even if it's the same job, all right. So let's say different schools um have different recruiters that they pay. So, for example, my school might pay tests to advertise their jobs. They might pay Indeed, they might pay Seek teachers to advertise their jobs. So it doesn't matter. You can apply for the same position across the different websites. All right, so it doesn't matter. Yes, because the same job that you see on tests, you might see it on EdVectors, but these schools are paying different recruitment websites to advertise for them. All right, so you can, if it's the same job being advertised, you can apply for it on any one of the websites that you see it. Or you mean individual recruiters? Yes, you have individual recruitment companies too, but it still doesn't matter. You keep on sending it. It still doesn't matter even if it's an individual recruiter. But let's say let's say you're familiar with a particular recruiter's name, then you don't have to keep sending that particular recruiter your CV. What you can do is to send this recruiter a gentle reminder each time. If you have their personal email or the recruiter's email, you can keep sending them um, an email to say, I applied before, but I'm still looking. For example, when I came to the UAE, direct teacher recruitment company, it seems like they no longer exist. They were a very good company. And once I applied to them, and I didn't keep, so at the time her name was Claire, I didn't keep on sending her my CV. What I did was every now and again, I would send her a message to say, please keep me in mind. I am still searching. All right. So if you have a direct email, for example, if you apply on seekteachers.com, I think I'm familiar with the name Ash, because Seek Teachers has different what you call it, different recruiters working with the one company. So what I would do, you can do, is to keep emailing that person. If they share their email to say, I am still looking, please keep me in mind whenever a primary vacancy or a secondary vacancy comes up. All right, I hope this answers your question, Mellow Girl. Would you recommend me bringing along my classroom apparatus or starting fresh due to curriculum change, unsure about packing material such as laminator? All right, see your bank. You can take your personal things along with you. Um, but most of the things listed here, the school provides them. But if you have some flashcards that you really like, yes, and they work well for your class, then yes, you can take them. But when it comes on to laminator and stationery, you'll definitely get loads of those at your school. No need to worry about printing, about getting stuff laminated, unless you want to have your little personal thing. Because I have my personal laminator, it was gifted to me. I didn't buy it. But if you think you want to have your personal stuff, then fine. But you don't need to take those stuff. All right. All those will be provided. All right. Thank you, Terina, for answering that too for Mellow Girl. Yes, right. And see a bank, as Karina suggested, make sure those teaching resources are culture appropriate or sensitive. All right, thank you, Mellow Girl. Have a wonderful day and best wishes. Yes, so coming to a new culture, social bank, yes, you have to be mindful of culturally sensitive resources and so on, and what you can show, etc. Um, for example, we know that showing talking we say haram, talking about pork and pig, yeah. So pictures that have pigs on it, or YouTube videos with a pig on it, those cannot be used. If you have pictures or flashcards with pictures on it that have somebody being skimpily dressed, those are no. And it's the same for showing videos. Sometimes we see this, nice little YouTube videos we're teaching about verbs, or we're teaching adjectives and so on, and sometimes we find some, you want your phone? I'm gonna turn on this. All right. Sometimes you find some nice videos to use, and the video has a pig in it. Then that's a no. You can't use that video. Or you find a worksheet. Sometimes we find some lovely worksheets, and the worksheets have a pig on it. Then that's a no. We can't use it. Sometimes we're playing a YouTube video, and the video has somebody on a beach, a woman on a beach, and the in a bathing suit, skimpy bathing suit, then that cannot be used. I remember recently, um, I think it was reading time for my kids, and the boy said, Miss, look at this picture, look at this picture. It was of a couple, and they were kissing, and the boy was, Miss, this is a ram, it was acceptable. And I said to him, but it's husband and wife, it's mom and dad, so they can kiss. And he was like, no, miss, haram. My mom only kissed my dad here, my dad kissed my mom here, or right here. So, and it was just a picture. So, so we have to be, really mindful of what we show to them, of what we say to them. All right. Yes. Okay. So Sociobank is saying thanks, Terina. Yes. We have to be even. So we're gonna use a story in share a story with our class, etc. We have to, something as teachers, and even for us who have been here for a long time. Sometimes we're in a rush and we grab a worksheet and we grab a video. We quickly go on YouTube and find a video. It's something that we do sometimes, but we have to be quite mindful when we're doing it. We have to make sure that whatever resource we show, we go through them first. It happens to me more than one time to I'm teaching something, and then something pops up and I'm like, let me find a quick YouTube video, and then I didn't watch the video before, and then something pop up and then they're like, miss. So we have to be very careful when I'm choosing our resources. Yes, and as Tarina said, we have to be very careful because we can lose our jobs for that. It's something that we do sometimes, and not, like I've said before, it has happened to me already where I'm teaching a concept and I want to, I'm not getting across to some of the kids, and I'm like, let me quickly find a quick video that I can show that, to get give them a better understanding, and then I didn't get to watch the video before, and then something might pop up, and something inappropriate, something culturally insensitive, and so we have to be really mindful of that. And new teachers coming in, there's a saying that says, Ignorance to the law is no excuse. When it comes to your job, we can't play the card to say, I didn't know. There's no leeway for that. Yeah, we can't say, okay, I didn't know. We have to be on our P's and our Q's in what we say, what we do, our whole mannerisms and everything. Hi, Rashida. Good to see you. How are you doing? How you handle notorious students? I think you mean how I handle students who try to probably give a lot of behavioral problems. So you will find one or two students that really, tries you, really works on your patience and so on. Yes, most of them will test your faith. Not most, some of them will test your faith. But like I was saying earlier in the video, when it comes to behavior management in your class, it's something that every day is a different experience, a different learning experience, and we have to be thinking out of the box. How can I manage this child's behavior? Sometimes I think that they can't manage the way they behave. Sometimes I think that I give them this look and they're like, Miss, what did I do? What did I say? It's like it's nothing to them or something. And I think sometimes we, based on our culture, some things that kids were not allowed to do in your classroom, here it's like it's nothing. Um, so the way you would deal with it in your home country, you can't deal with it like that here. But let's say for a child who is very disruptive, you have to just think outside of the box. What can I do to have this child settled in my class? Sometimes it's moving the child to the front of the class, making sure that that child sits directly in front of you. Sometimes it's ignoring the child. And what I mean ignore is that, sometimes when they realize that they're misbehaving and you're feeding them a lot of attention, then they act out more. Sometimes it's making sure that this child has enough activity that would keep him or her in his seat. And if it's a child that's being very disruptive and this is happening every day, then the next step is to reach out to the counselor to, come and speak with this child. And because in my country, we could put a child at the back of the class to sit by the door. But some things you just can't do here, and sometimes you feel like your hands are tied. But the first step is to contact the school's counselor. They will come and speak to the child. And if it's something that is, really out of control, then they're going to admin will talk to the child. They will try to get the parents in and so on. But you will get some form of support. All right. But give them leadership roles to do. A child who is very disruptive. Okay, you're the line leader today. So let's say this child is always misbehaving in the line. Put this child at the front of the line and say, you are the line leader today. And trust me, that child who is always acting up in the line is going to be there trying to get everybody in line. Yeah? Give them, you step out of the class for 2 seconds, which you can't do. You can't leave your class unattended at any time. But let's say you say, I'm running here to pick this up. You are in charge. And you find that that disruptive child is a child that will keep everybody in line, in check. So it's just, sometimes I have to you see, once you say, I'm going to message your baba, that's your father, and I even pick up the phone or my laptop and pretend that I'm typing a message. Sometimes I even bring it up on the screen and pretend that I'm sending a message to the counselor or I'm messaging your baba, and They get quiet. So some of those little things, it works in the high school, but it does in the primary school, but not in the high school. Oh, and I think Tarina was given a follow up about what not to do and so on. Yes, the first week of school, orientation induction week, is where you're going to be learning some of those things or getting some of those information as to how you can what not to do, what not to do at work, what not to do living here outside of work, what not to do. Because like I said before, ignorance to the law is no excuse here when things happen. Moving to a new country, you have to make sure that you do your research. You're going to move to a new country, research the culture, research the law, and see a bank. Um, something simple as taking a picture when you arrive. There are certain buildings here. Rashida, yes, happy to know I answered your question. There are certain buildings here that you can't take a picture of. So every time you take out your phone to take a picture, you have to check your background to make sure that a police officer or a soldier is not in your picture, to make sure that a government building is not in your picture, to make sure that sometimes this one is unavoidable. Here, somebody can tell you to delete a picture from your phone if they think that they were caught in your picture. For some persons, it's fine. But every time you take a picture, sometimes you have to look who is behind you because some persons might be okay with it, some persons are not. But especially you can be jailed for taking a picture, and not can be. You will be jailed for taking a picture and posting it that has a government building in the background or a police officer and so on. So when you come here and you see these nice, beautiful buildings and you're like, wow, make sure to check that it's not a government building before you take that picture. And it's the same thing when it comes to your kids. You can't post them on social media. Social media. So taking a picture of your class and putting them on Facebook, on your Instagram and so on, you have to blur their faces. All right. Um, in my school, when it comes to taking the kids picture, Mr. Thaw, someone's private residence as well. Thank you for that, Mr. Thaw. Yes, posting somebody's private residence and also their cars. If you happen to take a picture and a car is in the background, it's not your car, you make sure to put an emoji over the license plate number. All right. Forgot what I was saying before. Yes, in my school, when it comes to taking a child's picture at the start of the school year, every parent had to sign a document to say whether or not you can take their child's picture. So, within our classroom or within the school, we have display boards and we have to post kids' work and so on. Sometimes the work can be, you're doing a science activity or whatever, and you take a picture of the kids in their groups and so on. Even as much as placing it on the display board in the classroom, parents have to sign if it's okay to take their child's picture. Every school has a school website where they showcase school activities and so on. Even for that, the school can't just put a child's picture on the school's website. They have to get permission for that. And it's the same thing for us as teachers. We have to have permission. Like I have some kids in my class that I relate well with their parents, and we talk outside of school and so on. And sometimes I'll post myself with those kids because I have like a relationship with those parents. But outside of that, it's a no-no. All right. hope I've covered everybody's message. Terina, what time is it now? It's 9:06 a.m. for me. That means it's midnight. Yeah, midnight now, Terina. Yeah, so what? Oh, 6:06 p.m. Okay, okay. Counting backwards. Yes, 9:06. It gone too long. Oh my God, it gone too long. And it's after 9 and it's looking so cloudy outside. Before you know it, when spring break finished and I'm back to reality. So I've enjoyed the little rest, sleeping as much as I can. Because yes, when we come back after spring break, we don't have any more holidays again before summer. Or we're gonna have Eid. We're gonna have an Eid break, maybe. Yes, so the UAE we're on spring break now. We don't they don't celebrate Easter, so there will be no Easter break. So we're currently on spring break and Ramadan. Yes, we have Eid. All right, and then after Eid break, then right back to summer. Terina, we need to do a collab before spring break is over. So let's set that one up. Mr. Thor, are there any Jamaican communities or stores in UAE? There's no Jamaican community, but what we do, but lots of Jamaicans are here, and we even have a Jamaican WhatsApp group. I think we have over 40 persons, Terina, in our WhatsApp group. Over 40, we have a Jamaican WhatsApp group, and that's just for teachers who are in Abu Dhabi. We have our little WhatsApp group and we share things, we share ideas, we help out each other with information and otherwise. Yes, over 40 teachers of us are there. There are no Jamaican stores, but we have Jamaican restaurants here. When you want a little authentic Jamaican food, you can go there, but no Jamaican stores. So what we do is whenever we travel home, because I like my little Jamaican knickknacks and so on. So certain things that I really like to use, like my seasonings and so on, whenever I go home, I make sure I stock up on those and take them back with me. But some things you can get here when it comes to fruits and everything. Oh, fruits and vegetables of all description. You get your chicken and your pork and your beef and your mutton, your goat meat, your fish. You get all of those. But when it comes to certain other little things like, your chicken noodle, like you like your Maggi noodle, or you like your salt fish, you like your Maggi seasoning, stuff like those, you might have to take those along with you, enough to last you through until you travel again. But on a whole, you can get whole variety of foods. All right, so Mr. Thor, looking forward to seeing you here. So I'm assuming that you have been applying. So looking forward to seeing you here. And again, for those of you who were given offers and you're coming in August, I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you. And Yeah, working here, it's really lovely. It's a beautiful place to live. It's a beautiful place to work. It's a beautiful place to raise your family. It's safe. I know a lot of you hear a lot of myths about the UAE, but I'm almost at my completing my 6 years here, and it's the safest I've felt. Whenever I'm to go back to my home country, trust me, it's scary. It's the thought of going home scares me in terms of the violence and all of that. I feel so safe um, in the UAE. I can go out any hour of the night, any hour of the day, be sitting in a taxi any hour of the night and not thinking somebody's gonna kidnap me, somebody's gonna hurt me. I can I can leave something here, leave my bag here and come back and find it. So for me, I always say sometimes if you are a family person in terms of you have husband and kids, then it can get lonely if you are here and your family is back in Jamaica. It can be very lonely. But otherwise, if you can manage on your own, you will meet new friends here and travel. Living here is a great travel hub. You can travel, but it's been great so far. The only challenge for me so far, guys, is the distance. I can never get used to it. Like last week when I was traveling to America and the flight was 16 hours. I think this is the most frustrating I've ever felt on an airplane. It was just so tiring. I felt like, sleeping and waking, sleeping, and I woke up and I saw 9 hours to go. That's one part of it I can't get used to, traveling traveling back home or traveling a far distance, as opposed to living somewhere close to your home country. But otherwise, I love it. How do you know how the equivalency process works? Not equivalency for your documents or for your salary. Not sure what you mean, Mr. Thaw. Equivalency for your documents or for your salary. And thank you for those of you who are still on the live. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support. Make sure to share this live with someone who you think might need the information that we discussed today. Make sure to share it with somebody who you know is planning to come here and will need this information. Share the live with him or her. Okay, the document to be a licensed teacher. All right, if you're a Jamaican, you're not asked for a teacher's license because we don't use licensing in Jamaica, teacher's license. So as far as I know, for a Jamaican, you don't need a teacher license. All you need to do is to have is your bachelor's degree, and yeah, all you need to have is your bachelor's degree or whatever. Or if you did a PGCE, you did a diploma first, then you did a PGCE. That's all you need to have. So your first step would be to get your degree, your master's or your bachelor's degree attested in Jamaica. So you take it to the Ministry of Education, get it attested there. That is free. Then you take it to Ministry of Foreign Affairs to get it attested there. That one you have to pay for. Um, and then your next step is to get it attested, to get UAE attestation. Oh, I got another question like that this morning too. um some schools ask that you get UAE attestation before coming to the UAE. Now, there is no UAE embassy in Jamaica, so the nearest UAE embassy to Jamaica is in Cuba. So you would have to courier your documents to Cuba to get them attested, or if you know somebody in the UAE, you can send it to them and get them attested for you. All right, so that's all you need. All right, Sia Bank is asking about driver's license. All right, for some nationality, Sia Bank, they don't they can just easily drive on their convert or drive on their country's license. They don't have to go through the whole process, whilst for some country you have to go back over the whole process of getting a driver's license. For example, me as a Jamaican, I have to go back and do the test, do the road test, and so on before getting the license. But there is something called golden ticket or something like that, that you are able to get it in a shorter time than if you were just going to be driving for the first time. So you have a driver's license already for your home country, you can pay for something that's called like a golden ticket, and you do a test online. You just pay the money, do the theory test online, and then you do a simulation test where you go into the driving school, do some simulation thingy, and then you do about 10 lessons on the road or so on, depending on how much you want to pay for lessons on the road test. And then you have the day of the test and you go do your road test and you get your license instantly. It's not a long process if you had driver's license in your home country. The process is longer if you come and you didn't have a driver's license before. But I know there are some nationalities, like I think Americans and I think South Africans. I think it's much easier for them, the process. Mr. Thor, did I answer your question? Hoping what I explained, did it answer your question? All right, hope it answered your question. All right, guys, I'm gonna run now. Thank you so much for being a part of my live chat this morning or this evening. Hope your questions were answered. And as usual, feel free to reach out to me after the video has ended. You can continue dropping your questions in the chat even after the video ends, and I will be sure to answer you. If you have a private message, you can reach out to me at Georgia Dockery Facebook Messenger or lovely.georgia on Instagram. All right, let's see if I can type that in the chat. All right, I'll drop it in the chat in the end. I can't figure out how to reply to the messages in the chat there. But yes, if you want to reach out to me further, if you have further private question, if the question is not private, then you can drop it here in the comment section after the video ends. If it's a private question, then you can message me on Facebook. It's Georgia Dockery, or on Instagram, lovely.georgia. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. You're welcome, Sia Bank. And you stay blessed too. And guys, those of you who are still here, if you haven't followed Terra Teachers Consultancies yet, go ahead and subscribe to Terina's channel, Terra Teacher Consultancy. She was here in the chat. Make sure to subscribe to her channel. She has loads of information over there too, and of course she'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So go ahead and check out Terry Teachers Consultancy and make sure to subscribe to her channel also. All right. So thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day or have a wonderful evening wherever you are watching from. Bye.